Hey, I'm Dr. Charles, aka CoachMD. In my over 30 years of medical practice, I've made it my goal to help you create a great life by achieving a strong mind, a healthy body, and an unshakable spirit. What I want to talk to you today about is something that we all struggle with, right? At least some of us more than others, and that's trying to get to sleep when you have a lot of different thoughts on your mind and it's just keeping you up and restless. And we know we've seen the data, and I'll probably do some videos on this of how important sleep is to our overall well-being, health and well-being, right? So let's look at this article. When stressful thoughts keep you awake, this psychologist has a trick. So let's read this. Let's go through it together. Psychologist and behavioral sleep medicine specialist Shelby Harris has noticed that lots of restless nights stem from the same root. Many times when someone has occasional trouble sleeping that they can't trace back to an underlying medical condition or poor sleep hygiene or something in trauma in your history, in your past, whatever, it's because of what Harris calls brain fatigue, right? Think about it. You lay your head down to go to sleep, and everything that you might have thought was bothering you comes up. Right? You were distracted during the day, but when your head hits the pillow, your to-do list just goes right through your going on and on and on, right? Why busy days get in the way of restful nights? Let's imagine you have a busy day where everything is taking a little longer than planned. Suddenly it's dinner time and your to-do list is only halfway done. You power through to cross off every last thing and somehow still manage to get in bed at a decent hour. Success, right? Well, no. But then, lying in the dark, you can't sleep even though you're totally exhausted. Sound familiar? Harris says this is a prime example of brain fatigue, which happens when we don't give our minds ample time to wind down and recover before bed. When you're going, it's hard for you to turn your brain off. She tells Mind Body Green, making it difficult to fall asleep and or stay asleep through the night. Now, I agree with that, and I use a little different terminology. I talk about the automatic brain, which is our primitive nature, our primal nature, that will do anything possible by causing us to fight and flee danger by all means necessary, and the way to do that is with the fight or flight mechanism, right? So when we lay down to sleep, a couple things are happening. One, it's wasted time, especially if our to-do list is not done, then we're going to possibly be in danger the next day. So our brain goes on overdrive and starts to fight and flee the danger, right? We don't have anywhere to go to fight or flee, though, so it's internal, keeps us awake. Or on the other hand, think about 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, when you're trying to sleep in a cave or something, you always have to be on the lookout for a predator that might wander in. So the sleep when you're laying down, that could be a dangerous activity. So our brain automatically might put us into a fight or flight mode. So that's just a couple things to think about. This is why it's essential to start your nightly wind down process at least 30 minutes, but preferably an hour before you want to be asleep. Sleep, after all, doesn't happen with the flip of a switch. Instead, Harris likes to imagine that it functions on a dimmer. That's interesting. I know when I fall asleep sometimes, what I tell my brain to do to shut it off, I usually say just let it happen. Just let it happen, because sleep is an automatic internal reflex. It's automatic. Our body it will sleep as a rule of thumb, as part of what makes us human or even animals. It will happen automatically. We don't have to think about it. Once you find a steady stream of relaxing tools, be it meditation, breath work, a bathing ritual, or a sleep supplement, you can weave them together to gradually send the signal to your brain that bedtime is coming. While everyone's routine will look a bit different, Harris says that most people can benefit from kicking it off with a brain dump. Okay, let's see what that means. This is simply a way to offload some of your stressful thoughts or worries so you don't carry them into bed with you. how to do a brain dump before bed. These 3 practices can all help you get into bed with a calmer mind. Try them all out and see which one works best for you, or riff off of them in a way that you find easy to stick with. The important thing is giving your stressful thoughts somewhere to go, since they're definitely not invited to your precious wind down time. And if you think about it the way I'm talking about it, those stressful thoughts come from the fight or flight. So and when we get that fight or flight, we have no place to run, no place to hide. It's internal. Back in the day, we're running, we're chasing, whatever, we're escaping. You can have an outlet for that. But when you're in sleep, it's all bundled up. So this is a good way to kind of take that and put it over here, kind of dump it. Make a to-do list. Research shows that making to-do lists at night can help people sleep better. The reasoning, Harris explains, is that making a list gets all your tasks and worries into one place. If you think about it later, you can go, nope, I already wrote it down, she says. For those with really long lists, she recommends breaking them into need to get done, would like to get done, and doesn't have to get done columns to help put them into perspective. I think that's a great idea because it kind of organizes it so you know that you don't have to you're not going to do anything about it right now, but you table it, you put it off to the next day, but you know that everything's going to be organized, so it's less out there, less dangerous, so to speak. Journal. If there is one thing in particular that's on your mind, you may find it helpful to journal on it before winding down. These prompts can help you get started. I'm not going to go into that. That's another. But I'm going to have the link of this article in this video, so you can go to that and to this link. You see right here, it's a hyperlink, and you can click on that from the article that's in the description of this video. This way, you'll be less likely to keep thinking about it in bed. You'll already have thought about it plenty and gotten some of your ideas about it onto the page. Set aside worry time. Similar to a journaling session, worry time is 20 timed minutes that you spend doing nothing but, you guessed it, worrying. It sounds crazy, but you're allowed to worry nonstop for those 20 minutes, Harris says. She's seen this route be helpful for people who tend to get anxious about the future, for it gives them a structured space to play out their fears and worst-case scenarios. Then, once these 20 minutes are up, they can go about their day knowing that worry time is over and any stressful thoughts that come up next will have to wait until tomorrow. Well, here's what you could do with that 20 minutes. Because sometimes, yes, letting it go, letting your mind just go in the worry, you kind of realize that it's silly. Those possibilities are not high probability things to happen, right? Our brain will react to possibilities because that's what can hurt us rather than probability. So even if it's low probability, the possibility of it happening is enough to get our juices, our anxiety, our fight or flight going. But this kind of gives you a way to sort it out and to see what's more probable. It's also a good time to pray. If you're inclined to do that, as I am, then you can put that trust into something greater than yourself. So instead of worrying, you could take what you're worried about and put it into the trust of who you're praying to. If you're praying to God, put your trust in God. If you're meditating, breathe through it. Even though you're running through those scenarios, breathe and meditate. And those 20 minutes can be a good, very targeted time period where you can unleash your worries, and that kind of gets rid of that danger that causes the fight or flight, which will cause you to have difficulty sleeping. With your stressful thoughts released before bed, you'll have plenty of mental space for more pressing concerns, like how good your sheets are about to feel. Okay, so that's a shameless plug. If you go on that link, it's going to give you probably an ad for sheets, ordering sheets. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me let the listeners of this video know some of the techniques that work for you. And join me next time on other videos and let me know what you think. I'm Dr. Charles, a.k.a. CoachMD, urging you to stay strong in mind, in body, and in soul. Bye for now.
Hey, Dr. Charles, CoachMD. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think you have a friend who might benefit from this video, share it with them. For access to exclusive content, support my Patreon. There you'll get private access to videos, meditations, health tips, even relationship and financial tips. You'll have a say in what I produce and be able to participate in a monthly call with me. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.